To set up a new spool, we need to attach the pieces that will lock in here and attach it to the spool holder. So these are reusable. You can just pop them out after you're done, and then when you're installing it in a new one, put just a couple little dots of hot glue to get a tight fit and to keep it from shifting around while it's chopping. Just press that in. Then add in the bar. These will align with the cutouts in that. Now we can add the other side. And if you need it, there's a spacer, but depending on the roll size, sometimes these tubes are a little bit of a different length, so that's why I have the option. But what we need to do is have this line up properly so that the other piece can lock in place. So there's markings on this here for how this will fit so that the screws will line up with the holes. So just want to ensure that this piece has the slots aligning with that once it attaches to the spool. So just do a little hot glue. And align it with those markings so that this slot is in the lower part. And then this will be able to slide on. And then you can tighten down these. They should align with those holes. You don't ever have to take them out completely. There's a nut concealed inside there that will just hold them while you're not using it. And there is a little bit of play on that, so I'm probably going to just add in the spacer actually. Just depending on what batch of the spools you get, you can end up with slightly different dimensions on that. That's perfect. Okay. This sets into that. And we will want this so that the toe is coming off the top of the roll when it's feeding into the chopper. These go on there with the bolts. There's a longer side here and the shorter side. The shorter side goes in here to make sure it doesn't end up getting any contact with this part. Same for this side. The shorter brim there goes towards the roll. And once that's tightened in place, this is easy to pick up by that and move around if you need to. Now the drill is going to go right on here onto this bolt. There you go. So that snaps on over the bolt when it's aligned. And then these tighten into the holes on the drill just to keep it from moving around while it's working. I have the speed controller, so I just gotta plug this into the outlet. Now my speed controller is on. I'm gonna turn that all the way down and then lock this. There's a button at the back so that this stays locked down. So you press the trigger, that releases it, but if I press the trigger and then press the button back here, that locks my trigger on so that it's controlled by the speed controller rather than by the trigger. So I have just put fresh pads on there for this. So what I normally do is run it a little bit with the new pads so that any little bits that are going to get caught in the blades as they get smooshed into shape, that will get cut off and not end up in my carbon. So we just run that for a little bit. And then just dust off any bits that got trimmed. That will automatically make sure you're foam is the right size. Okay, so then these screws at the back need to be tightened in to compress the roller. These screws tighten down to compress the roller. And then we're going to check that against the carbon fiber to tighten it just enough so that it is cutting the carbon all the way through consistently, but not over tightened, because if you over tighten it, it's going to produce not quite as good of a result because the carbon will be squished a little more than necessary, and it can make it not quite as flat looking. This is going to go on top of the bin that will catch the carbon. Just put it like that. And I will normally wrap a piece of fabric, breather cloth here, around the intake on the drill, just to help keep dust from getting sucked in, because the chopper does create a lot of carbon fiber dust as it's chopping, just by nature of what it is. So that will help protect that. So I've got it over the bin. My pads are good, so the feeder lid can go on here. That's got the ring that's going to ensure the carbon is directed into the blade assembly, and that's just pressure fit on. So now we grab the carbon end. This is where we need to test the tensioning of the blades. Now, when it's a brand new roll, like this is pretty much a full roll here, because it's so heavy, you gotta give it a little bit of a tug to get it going. Once it's going, it feeds really, really well from the momentum. I'll generally give it a little bit of a curve like this to make it a little easier to get into the blade. And then you just grab that and turn it. And what's coming out is cutting. I'm actually going to loosen this a little bit. I think I have it a little tighter than necessary. See if it still cuts. And this toe has come unraveled, so it's not in perfect condition yet, but it takes a little bit of carbon to get the settings right anyways. So that's fine. Okay, yeah, what's coming out is still cutting all the way through. So I know that this is tensioned enough. So what's going to happen as you're chopping, those blades are going to wear down. Like literally the metal will wear down. So as you are chopping through a roll, you have to monitor it. And if you notice that it starts not chopping all the way through, then just on the fly, as it's chopping, just tighten your bolts just a little bit until you make sure that it's chopping all the way. And you just have to monitor that throughout the process to ensure that it's always producing the most cleanly cut carbon possible. So now that this is in, now if you pull it, it's going to come right back out. So you kind of want to not have pressure there. And I definitely recommend that you wear a dust mask and clothing that's okay to get carbon dust on, because this is quite messy over time as you're chopping a bunch of rolls. And with regards to the speed, I will slowly increase it until it starts going and then adjust the speed from there. I don't put it too fast. Like I kind of just get it going at a steady rate so that I have time to monitor, because if it's going really, really fast and there's this problem, you're going to go through a ton of carbon before you even have a chance to catch it. So that's my personal preference, is not ever put it at full speed. So we're going to go ahead and make sure it's feeding. So when it's a new heavy roll like this with these 6 kilogram rolls, not so much if you get the 4 kilogram ones, but these are so big that there's a little bit of back pressure. So when you start it, I find it helps to give it just a little bit of a push just to get that momentum at just the right time. And sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get it going, because it'll pull back out if you're not careful and don't time it just right. But once it's going, then it's good. So we're going to gradually increase that. little break there so it doesn't keep unspooling. Because this is on bearings, the momentum really gets it going. So it will just unspool a little bit backwards, but because there's just basically no friction. So that's how it works, and you just have to monitor the roll as you're cutting to make sure it stays at the correct tensioning and that the bin isn't getting too full and getting clogged up. But that's what it makes. Really, really beautiful chalked carbon.